Sure, here's a detailed and extended conversation between two characters, Adam and Alice, using common vocabulary and simple grammar structures. This conversation will cover a variety of everyday topics, including work, hobbies, travel, food, and more. Part 1, Meeting and Catching Up.
Hi Alice, long time no see. How have you been?
Hi, Adam. I know, it's been ages. I've been good, thanks. How about you?
I've been doing well. Just busy with work. How's everything on your end?
Pretty much the same. Work has been keeping me busy too. What have you been up to lately?
Mostly just working and trying to find some time to relax. Have you done anything interesting recently?
Yes, actually. I went on a hiking trip last weekend. It was so refreshing to be out in nature.
That sounds amazing. Where did you go hiking?
We went to Blue Mountain. It's about a 2-hour drive from here. The view from the top was absolutely stunning.
I've heard great things about Blue Mountain. I should definitely go there sometime. Did you go alone or with friends?
I went with a couple of friends. It was a lot of fun. We packed some food and had a picnic at the top.
That sounds like a perfect day. What did you pack for the picnic?
We kept it simple. Some sandwiches, fruits, and lots of water. Oh, and some cookies for a treat.
Yum, that sounds delicious. I love picnics. They're such a nice way to enjoy the outdoors.
Absolutely. You should join us next time. We're planning another hike soon.
I'd love to. Just let me know when and where, and I'll be there.
Part 2, Talking about Work.
So, how's work going for you?
It's going well. A bit hectic, but that's normal. How about you?
Work has been pretty busy for me too. We have a big project coming up, so everyone's been putting in extra hours.
What kind of project is it?
It's a marketing campaign for a new product launch. We're working on a lot of social media content and ads.
That sounds interesting. It must be exciting to see your work make a real impact.
It is. It's also a bit stressful, but I enjoy the challenge. What about you? What projects are you working on?
I'm working on a new software development project. It's been a lot of coding and testing, but it's coming along well.
That sounds intense. How do you manage to stay focused with all the coding?
I try to take regular breaks and not stare at the screen for too long. It helps to clear my mind.
That's a good idea. I should try that too. Sometimes I get so absorbed in my work that I forget to take breaks.
It's easy to do, especially when you're in the zone. But breaks are important. They help you stay productive in the long run.
You're right. I'll make sure to take more breaks. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. So, do you have any exciting plans for the weekend?
Part 3, Weekend Plans and Hobbies.
I'm actually planning to try a new recipe I found online. It's a Thai curry dish. I'm really excited about it.
That sounds delicious. Do you cook a lot?
I try to cook whenever I have time. I find it really relaxing. What about you? Do you like cooking?
I do, but I don't cook as often as I'd like to. I usually stick to simple meals. Maybe you could give me some tips.
Of course. Cooking is all about experimenting and having fun. What do you usually cook?
I make a lot of pasta dishes and salads. They're quick and easy.
Pasta is always a good choice. There are so many different ways to make it. Have you tried making your own sauce?
No, I usually use store-bought sauce. Is it difficult to make your own?
Not at all. It's actually pretty simple. You just need some tomatoes, garlic, onions, and herbs. You should try it sometime.
I will. Thanks for the suggestion. So, besides cooking, what else do you enjoy doing in your free time?
I like reading and painting. They're great ways to relax and unwind. What about you?
I enjoy reading too. I also like playing video games and watching movies.
What kind of books do you like to read?
I mostly read fiction. I love getting lost in a good story. How about you?
I enjoy fiction too, but I also like reading nonfiction, especially books about history and science.
That's great. It's good to have a mix. Do you have a favorite book?
It's hard to choose just one, but I really loved To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. What about you?
That's a classic. One of my favorites is 1984 by George Orwell. It's such a thought-provoking book.
Definitely. I read it a few years ago and it really stayed with me.
Part 4, Traveling and Future Plans.
Speaking of books, do you like to read while traveling?
Yes, I do. Reading is a great way to pass the time on long trips. Do you travel often?
I try to travel whenever I can. I love exploring new places. What about you?
I love traveling too. There's so much to see and experience in the world. Do you have a favorite travel destination?
I really enjoyed visiting Japan. The culture, the food, and the people were amazing. What about you?
Japan is on my list. My favorite place so far has been Italy. The history, the art, and the food were incredible.
Italy is beautiful. Did you visit any particular cities?
Yes, I went to Rome, Florence, and Venice. Each city had its own unique charm.
That sounds wonderful. I've always wanted to visit Venice. How was it?
It was like stepping into a different world. The canals, the architecture, everything was so picturesque.
I can imagine. Do you have any travel plans for the future?
I'm hoping to visit Australia next year. It's been a dream of mine for a long time.
That's great. Australia is such a diverse and beautiful country. Do you have any specific places you want to visit there?
Yes, I want to visit Sydney, the Great Barrier Reef, and maybe do a road trip along the coast.
That sounds like an amazing trip. I hope you get to go soon.
Thanks. Do you have any travel plans coming up?
Not yet, but I'm thinking about taking a trip to Canada. I've heard great things about it.
Canada is beautiful. There's so much natural beauty to explore. I'm sure you'll love it.
I'm looking forward to it. Traveling is such a great way to learn and grow.
Absolutely. It broadens your horizons and gives you a new perspective on life.
Part 5, Health and Lifestyle.
So, Alice, do you do anything special to stay healthy?
I try to eat a balanced diet and exercise regularly. I also make sure to get enough sleep. What about you?
I try to stay active. I go to the gym a few times a week and play soccer on weekends.
That's great. Soccer is a fun way to stay fit. Do you play with a team?
Yes, I play with a local team. We have matches every Sunday. It's a lot of fun.
That sounds like a good way to stay in shape and socialize. How long have you been playing soccer?
I've been playing since I was a kid. It's always been one of my favorite sports. Do you play any sports?
I used to play tennis, but I haven't played in a while. I do yoga now. It helps me stay flexible and relaxed.
Yoga is great for both the body and mind. I've been thinking about trying it. Any tips for a beginner?
Just start with the basics and don't push yourself too hard. It's important to listen to your body and go at your own pace.
That's good advice. I'll give it a try. Do you go to a yoga class or practice at home?
I do both. I started with classes to learn the basics, and now I practice at home with online videos.
That's a good idea. It's convenient to practice at home. How often do you do yoga?
I try to practice at least 3 times a week. It really helps me stay calm and focused.
I could definitely use some of that calmness in my life. I'll look into it.
You should. It's a great way to unwind after a long day.
Part 6, Technology and Gadgets.
Speaking of unwinding, do you use any gadgets or apps to help you relax?
I use a meditation app sometimes. It has guided meditations that are really helpful. Do you use any apps like that?
I've tried a couple of meditation apps, but I usually just listen to music to relax. What's the name of the app you use?
It's called Calm. It has a lot of different features, like guided meditations, sleep stories, and relaxing music.
I've heard of that one. I'll give it a try. Technology can be so helpful for managing stress.
Definitely. There are so many apps and gadgets that can make life easier. Do you have a favorite gadget?
I really like my smartwatch. It helps me keep track of my fitness goals and stay organized. What about you?
I love my e-reader. It's so convenient to have all my books in one place. I can take it anywhere.
E-readers are great. I have one too, and it's perfect for traveling. Do you read a lot of e-books?
Yes, I do. It's nice to have a library at my fingertips. Plus, e-books are often cheaper than physical books.
That's true. I still love the feel of a real book, but e-books are definitely more convenient.
Same here. I like both for different reasons. Do you use any other tech gadgets?
I have a tablet that I use for work and entertainment. It's really versatile.
Tablets are handy. I use mine to watch movies and browse the internet. It's great for multitasking.
Agreed. Technology has come a long way. It's amazing how much we can do with just a few devices.
Part 7, Food and Dining.
Speaking of multitasking, I was thinking about trying out a new restaurant this weekend. Do you have any recommendations?
There's a new Italian place that just opened downtown. I've heard great things about it.
That sounds good. I love Italian food. Have you tried it yet?
Not yet, but a friend of mine went there and said the pasta is amazing.
I'll definitely check it out. Do you have a favorite type of cuisine?
I love Japanese food. Sushi, ramen, tempura, I can't get enough of it.
Japanese food is delicious. I love sushi too. Do you have a favorite sushi place?
Yes, there's a small sushi bar near my office. The chef is really talented, and everything is so fresh.
I'll have to try it sometime. Do you like to cook Japanese food at home?
I've tried making sushi at home, but it's not as good as the restaurant. I do make ramen sometimes, though.
Ramen is one of my favorites. It's such a comforting meal. Do you make it from scratch?
I cheat a little and use pre-made broth, but I add my own toppings and seasonings.
That's still impressive. I've only made instant ramen, but I'd like to try making it from scratch one day.
You should. It's a fun cooking project, and you can customize it however you like.
I'll give it a try. Do you have any other favorite dishes you like to cook?
I like making stir-fry because it's quick and you can use whatever vegetables you have on hand. What about you?
I enjoy making different types of pasta dishes. They're simple, and you can get creative with the sauces.
Pasta is always a good choice. Do you make your own pasta from scratch?
I've tried a couple of times. It's a bit time-consuming, but the taste is worth it.
I can imagine. Fresh pasta is so much better than store-bought. I'll have to try making it sometime.
Part 8, Movies and Entertainment.
By the way, have you seen any good movies lately?
Yes, I watched a great film last weekend. It's called Movie Title. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it but haven't seen it yet. What's it about?
It's a drama about, brief plot summary. The acting was superb, and the story was really moving.
That sounds interesting. I'll add it to my watch list. Do you watch a lot of movies?
I try to watch at least one movie a week. It's a nice way to relax. Do you have a favorite genre?
I enjoy action and sci-fi movies. I love the excitement and special effects. What about you?
I like a bit of everything, but I have a soft spot for romantic comedies. They're so feel-good.
Rom-coms are great. They always put me in a good mood. Do you have a favorite one?
Notting Hill is one of my all-time favorites. It's such a charming movie. Do you have a favorite action movie?
I'd say The Dark Knight. It's a brilliant film with an amazing performance by Heath Ledger.
That's a classic. I love that movie too. Have you been to the cinema recently?
Not in a while. I've been mostly watching movies at home. It's more comfortable and convenient.
Same here. But sometimes I miss the big screen experience. There's something special about going to the cinema.
I agree. The big screen and sound system make a huge difference. Maybe we should go see a movie together sometime.
That sounds like a great idea. Let's plan it soon.
Part 9, Books and Reading.
Speaking of entertainment, what book are you currently reading?
I'm reading The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Have you read it?
Yes, I read it a few years ago. It's a fascinating book. What do you think of it so far?
I'm really enjoying it. The main character, Holden, is so unique and complex. What about you? What are you reading?
I'm reading The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. It's a magical and enchanting story.
I've heard of that one. It's on my list. How are you finding it?
It's wonderful. The writing is beautiful, and the story is captivating. I highly recommend it.
I'll definitely check it out. Do you usually read fiction or non-fiction?
Mostly fiction, but I like to mix in some non-fiction every now and then. What about you?
I'm the same. Fiction is my go-to, but I enjoy a good non-fiction book as well. Any non-fiction recommendations?
Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari is a great read. It's a fascinating look at the history of humankind.
I've heard a lot of good things about that book. I'll add it to my reading list.
You won't regret it. It's really insightful. Do you prefer physical books or e-books?
I like both. Physical books are nice to hold and read, but e-books are convenient, especially when traveling. How about you?
Same here. There's something special about holding a physical book, but e-books are so practical.
Agreed. Do you ever listen to audiobooks?
Sometimes, especially when I'm driving or doing chores. It's a great way to read when you're busy.
I should try that. It sounds like a good way to make the most of my time.
Definitely. It's a great way to enjoy books when you're on the go.
Part 10, Future Goals and Aspirations.
So, Alice, what are your goals for the next few years?
I'd like to advance in my career and maybe take some courses to improve my skills. How about you?
I'm thinking about furthering my education as well. Maybe getting a master's degree.
That's a great idea. What would you study?
I'm interested in computer science and technology, so I'd probably go for something related to that.
That sounds like a smart choice. Technology is always evolving. Any other goals?
I'd like to travel more and maybe learn a new language. What about you?
Traveling more is definitely on my list too. I'd also like to start my own business one day.
That's ambitious. What kind of business do you want to start?
I'm interested in opening a small cafe. I love the idea of creating a cozy space for people to relax and enjoy good coffee.
To relax and enjoy good coffee. That sounds amazing. I'm sure you do great. Do you have a plan in mind?
I have some ideas, but I need to do more research and planning. It's a big step, but I'm excited about it.
It sounds like a wonderful plan. I wish you all the best with it.
Thanks, Adam. I appreciate that. I'm sure you'll achieve your goals too.
Thanks, Alice. It's good to have dreams and work towards them.
Absolutely. Life is all about growing and pursuing your passions.
Indeed. Here's to achieving our dreams and making the most of our journeys.
Cheers to that, Adam.
And with that, Adam and Alice continue their pleasant conversation, sharing more about their lives, experiences, and aspirations. This extended conversation covers various everyday topics, making it engaging and relatable for intermediate-level learners.